זוהר, פרשת קדושים ליום חמישי. ולפני עיוור לא תיתן מכשול, כי משמעו, והוקמו הבמן נגרם נחל על מחטא, וכן מן דמחל דברי רבה. It is written that you will not put a trap in front of a blind man. It also applies to one that makes somebody else sins. Like it brings him to do things that he's not supposed to do. And it's also comparable to one that hits his son. He says, why? Because by hitting his son, he will rebel about all the teaching of the Torah and all the teaching of his father. ולפני עיוור לא תיתן לגומר. הכוונה במן דלה מטה לא ראה ואורי כמר. כמאן דתננה דכתיב, כי רבים חוללו הפילה, ועצומים כל הרוגע, והעבר משום, ולפני עיוור לא תיתן מכשול, בגין להכשילה לחבר אלה עלמא דעתם. Also, the one that did not reach a level where he can teach, and so since he cannot teach, so whatever he's teaching is not the right thing and it's not in the right way. Because since he puts like a trap in front of his student or his friend, because he's teaching him things that are not right. So it's like a trap because his student thinks that he's learning something which is right, but it's the opposite. This person that is teaching this way, which means the wrong way, is doing a damage to his own world to come. מה דאזיל באורח משע באורייתא, ומה דשתדל באורייתא כדקייאות, אית לחולקתא ותדיע לעולם דעתי. והאימילה דאורייתא דאפק בפומי, אז לה ושתה בעלמא דסלקה לאלה. וכמה אילין קדישי מתחבר על בהאימילה. וסלקה מאור משע, ותתר ביתרה קדישה, מתחסה בנהרה דעלמא דעתי. ונגיד ונפיג מעדן, וקבל הבה, ושתאה בגבי. ותענג, we have learned that the one that goes on the right path of the Torah and the one that really learns it the way he's supposed to, he has a part in the world to come. Because these words of Torah that comes from his mouth go out, and then go up in the superior worlds. And supernal beings like angels associate themselves with these words and attached with them, and they make them go even higher. And when it goes to this right path and is crowned by these saintly crowns, then it is in this higher na, which is this higher river, we can call. Of course, we're talking here about the spiritual river, which is called from the world to come. And this river, which is from the world of Bina, and comes out of the Eden, like we say, the Gan Eden, the Garden of Eden, right? It comes from the Eden, which is presented by the Chokhmah. And it's accepted and it stays there. ותענג סורני דהוא נראה אילנה אילאה, וכדי נגיד נפיג נורא אילאה, ותתרבה, והוא ברנש, כל יומה, כמה דעת אמר. And from there, from this superior place, which is called Chokhmah, it goes to Bina, and to Bina to Tiferet, and the Tiferet receives this learning of the Torah. And from there comes a light, a superior light, and crowns this man, right, that said all this word during this day, and says with him, אז הוא יכתיב לפני עיוור לא תיתן מכשול. וניקח כתיב, יראת מאלוהיך אני השם. It says, now, the one that is learning the Torah but not in the right way, and is also teaching things that are wrong, is not teaching the proper explanations of the Torah. And then these words that come out from his mouth, they go up, but they cannot find anywhere where to be. And the superior angels do not associate themselves with these words because they are not words of truth. And what happens? So this word starts going everywhere to try to find a place to rest, and they don't. And so the one that pronounced those words, right, which is word of falsehood, right, does his damage in his own world to come, because these words, instead of defending him, are going to accuse him when it will be his time to go up. That's why it is written, in front of blind, do not put a trap. And it's also written, and you will fear God, your Lord. In other words, you will fear Him, because what you're doing here, and you might think that teaching things that are not true, well, it's not that important. It is very important, because the Torah is so saintly that once you deform it and you associate with the word of the Torah words of falsehood, then it does exactly the opposite effect. And then it will be a danger for the person that said those words.
מילין אילן דרברין ויקראו לערבי נחל. זהו דכתיב, ואהבת תשגה תמיד. דוד מלכה אמר, והורני השם דרכך עליה ומיתך. וכתיב, והורני ברוח מישור למען שוררי.
Now, the one that is learning Torah, but doesn't understand, but does it with sincerity, and then what he says is wrong. That could be also for a teacher that's trying to teach Torah, and it makes mistakes, but he doesn't make mistakes from bad intention just because he doesn't really understand, but he's still doing it with a good heart. I mean, his aim is to try to transmit something, it's truth, but he makes a mistake. He did something wrong. Same thing, the one that is learning, wants to learn, but makes also a mistake in his learning. He said, this is not the same thing, because these words are still accepted with ahava, with love, because they come from a good intention. And Hashem, God, rejoices with these words, even if they're not words that are the right words. He still rejoices, because what is important is not just the words, but is the intention behind the words. So we could understand also that somebody even that says the right words, but with a bad intention, somebody that is teaching, and even what he's saying is written, but he says it with all type of negative thoughts, with false interest, then also this is negative. So we understand that the thought that is unclosed into the words, this is what is important, because this is what God sees. He doesn't see what is outside, he sees what is inside. Not the exteriority, but the interiority. And as it is written, the person asks, and this is written in the Psalms, God, show me your ways, so I will walk and I will go in your truth. And show me the right path. In other words, even if you're not sure, but we're asking Hashem that He should show us the right way. Then whatever we do, it comes from a good heart, from a good intention, and God accepts it.